very special edition of the Pixel Response podcast.
Not the burning barrel.
I don't even know anymore, man. This is just a conversation we're having.
Yeah, a conversation between Nathan and Paul, the Calgarians.
The Calgarians, that's right. During this COVID-19 year we're having. Man,
the year of the pandemic.
So it's kind of weird. I've been thinking, I really wish this was like found just a month later so it would be COVID-20. Because it's kind of weird that it's 19 because last year was 2019.
Yeah, whereas most of the widespread stuff is in the year 2020.
Yeah. And, I guess like just the last time.
Or if they'd coin a new name for the actual virus, because isn't it kind of a placeholder name?
It is a placeholder name. I don't think they will. I think this is pretty much it.
This is what I was wondering about past pandemics. If it's like, oh yeah, in all the newspapers in like the early 1910s or 20s or whatever, when Spanish flu was happening, it was called something. It was called that, and now it's known as something else, maybe. Yeah, but probably. I don't think that's the case.
In my heart, even though it is racist, it'll always be Kung Flu because that name is really funny to me, and I think it's kind of cute. It's a cute way to like talk about a thing that like is killing people.
But the piles of digital articles in the future will all say COVID-19.
They'll all say Kung Flu.
Well, if it gets coined that in 2022 or something when they make the vaccine.
When it's less scary. So the last time you and I really talked has been years now, like this. Like
Has it?
You and I have done podcasts together where we talked about video games or movies, but like we haven't really done like a catch-up. You know what I mean?
Oh. Have we not? Okay.
We haven't. No. It's been like at least a year. So, I mean, the big thing is coronavirus is kind of ruining our lives currently. Like everybody's life, not yours and mine. Literally everybody.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. And by ruined, it's just trapped inside and on benefits instead of working.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, hey, at least our country came through on that front. Feels pretty good about that.
And it's weird because did you see the article saying how like, yeah, we're just giving money to anybody who asks for it because we know Canadians won't take advantage of it. So like, even people that are just like, yeah, I need EI to like pay rent or whatever, they're just giving it to them and they're like, we'll figure out this stuff after. And if you owe us, you owe us. It's fine. But like, we need to get people through this.
In our experience, it did seem to kind of come through a little quickly. Like, it was like, oh man, I think I screwed up like 3 things in my application. I'm going to have to really dig into this. And I was just like, no, there's just money in your account. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, like, I'm pretty sure the way our company like restructured its billing a couple years ago, like, I technically haven't worked for the same company for 6 years.
No,
it's been 2.
Didn't. Yep.
Yeah, but it's like
out a great way too when I went on.
Yeah, I was just like, no, I've been since 2014. It's like kind of, but
not really because Arrow Ground was officially bought it. Like fuck you guys. Fuck
yeah,
you guys
yeah. So I'm expecting that to like ping eventually when an accountant can actually look at it or whatever, like a CRA person.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's in the meantime though, we're not drowning, so yay.
Yeah.
Thanks for the life preserver.
It's been pretty okay.
Yeah.
It's given me a lot of time to sit and worry. I'm a chronic worrier. I get anxiety easy because I overthink things. And the new thing is I can't sleep at night because I am consistently thinking about people close to me dying.
Oh, okay. Has anyone tested positive or... Oh, okay.
Nope. And
just
like
general
when I look at the numbers, it's just like 100 people out of a city of like 1.5 million or whatever is like nothing, really. But that means we're going to die. We're going to be 101 or whatever. Like that's what it means to me. Is that
or there's always like the chance there's a giant explosion of cases or something if people get sick of waiting around. Like the thing I was really worried about Easter, like creating some sort of just like, fuck it, I'm going to church. And then
it did. There are a bunch
Yeah.
of people that did that.
So we're kind of waiting for that 2-week window after that to see if it's like, oh, there it is. There's that spike. Great. Or if it's just going to be like, no, everyone was really cool about it. There was digital, like, virtual church, and people just stayed in their homes.
I do believe that there is still virtual church. There are people that have gone out that were just like, nothing's going to keep me from my God. It's like, well, that you might be taking that a little too literally if you're getting in contact with the wrong person, unfortunately. Did you hear about this pastor that there was a pastor in the States that's like...
I've heard about several pastors in the States where it's like, pastor who said, fuck it, is dead now. And it's like,
yep,
okay.
That one. That guy specifically. He's just like, fuck it, I'm going to Mardi Gras. Dead, like, the next day.
Obviously not an exact quote of his actual verbiage, but that the cases like that seem to have been creeping up.
In a way, like, it's sad, but in a way, I'm kind of like, good. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Actual consequences.
And your God. I'm sick of this shit. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
And then you got this motherfucker in Vancouver that's just like, they can't keep us in, man. Like, fuck this fascism and stuff like that. I hope that guy fucking dies. I hope he is fucking dead by the end of the week. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Man.
Apparently there was some, like, local anti-virus protests, but the picture I saw was, like, 2 people and, like, 6 signs. So it's like, well, that's fine. As long as it's not really gaining traction.
Yeah.
I'm okay with 2 guys wasting their Saturday standing near Chinook Mall with, like, 6 weird skull signs or whatever. That's a way to do it, I guess. Adds to the dystopic flavor out there if you're driving around.
The end along is with the, like, signs.
The, like, digital signs next to the road that just say, like, stay safe, like, wash your hands. It's just, like, awesome.
That is like weird to think. Yeah, that if, like...
It's like, welcome to Raccoon City.
Something broke out really bad, and everybody in the world started dying. Like, Strand type shit, right? It is weird to think that, like, some of the last remnants of society would just be like, stay safe, wash your hands, on, like, these digital signs on the side of the road.
Staying positive about it. Just like, hey, just, you know, get some soap. It'll be okay.
Yeah. Get some hand sanitizer. The great toilet paper wars of 2020.
We're fortunate in that we kind of just absently bought a bunch at Costco weeks earlier because we needed some at that time. So we're kind of okay. But I haven't had to, like, actually quest out to find any. Yeah. But I have seen empty shelves at, like, drugstores and stuff.
Sure.
But
those shelves do get filled kind of quickly. It's kind of one of those things that, like, you can't really be picky about what brand or what you're going to be eating, and you'll be fine.
Not anymore, yeah. Like, and also, like, it's like I'm seeing what I want to now. Like, the narrative's so strong. It's like, oh, wait, I'm also here on, like, a Sunday afternoon, and they probably wouldn't get resupplied until tomorrow. So maybe it's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah, totally.
Like, in the one case when I was there. So, I don't know.
Yeah, no, totally.
There was milk and eggs, so that
like,
was fun.
1 week we got frozen pizzas as, like, a quick alternative to just, like, throw in the oven for dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
And we get a certain kind. It's like that Dr. Oetker or whatever.
Yeah. Utker. I used to be way into those.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, like, our brand, and we couldn't get it 1 week, and we're just like, okay, that's fine or whatever. We got some other Delisio crap that was, like, cardboard because the crust was kind of too thick. Like, it was kind of gross.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, we're just like, oh, God, is this our life now? No, it's been in stock every other time we've gone. It's been no big deal.
Yeah, I've seen it out there.
Yep.
Our new, like, solution to the pizza problem is Biblos naan bread, and you kind of make a mini pizza of your own, so you can put fresh toppings on it and stuff.
Yep.
It bakes nice, but it's kind of small. That's the only thing.
Sure.
But,
I mean, we can still order pizza as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that big of a deal to get food currently, which is fortunate. I'm sure some places in the world it's probably a bit much bigger hassle than it is for here.
I mean, I guess I'm curious about how India's doing because they went on, like, total lockdown.
They did,
and that's a lot of people. So, like, panic buying with that many people.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I haven't seen those videos, but I'm sure it got a bit hairy.
It's kind of the scarier thing about this, isn't it? Is the way humans
just your
react
fellow
to
man's
stuff.
attitude. Yeah, for sure. Like the actual virus is pretty scary. Like, breathing issues and all that. I've been, wanting to not get that. Yeah. But more so is just like chippy people out. Like even just like traffic when I was still driving to work, it was like this traffic seems angrier than it was. Like people are just swerving more erratically. Yeah. But maybe again, self-fulfilling somehow, but it just seemed in those weeks I was more worried about getting in a stupid traffic accident.
Yeah.
Than previous. So, yeah. And now I have no reason to drive anywhere. So.
How does it feel not having to go to work?
It initially was kind of like a relief because I felt I was being at risk for no good reason with like just drivers coming in and coworkers like talking about Walmart trips and stuff. It's like, what are you doing? Yeah. But now it just like time bends and molds together in this weird way where it's like, when was that? What day was that?
Time
was
no
that
longer
yesterday?
Exists, honestly.
Was that 3 days ago?
Yeah.
And like just trying to piece together like, when did we go on that drive? I guess it was a weekend because you were there. Like just, I don't know. It's a lot murkier than it was. Yeah. But that's okay. Today is Wednesday, and I know that.
It is.
Because it's the day I'm allowed to log on to the tax website because of my birthday. They don't want everyone doing it all at once, or it'll cause like a weird traffic jam.
It did that the first day. Yeah.
Like crashed stuff?
All day. It was down all day for people. Some people got in like early, but for the rest, they were fucked for the whole day.
Like my experience just was like weird login issues that I was pretty sure were just some glitch with my browser or something. Like I had to do a roundabout way to log in to my services was the thing I was trying to set up. Yeah. It was like, the CRA login that just isn't talking to the right website. I need to get this other means of accessing it, and then that worked. And then it was all for naught because it's like, you need a physical code to initialize all of this, and it's in the mail. Yeah, so it's just like, okay. I will wait and hope that this works out.
And then it did.
For the most part, I mean, like the emergency benefit came through. The actual EI stuff is dependent on the record of employment, like you said, might be an issue.
Yeah.
And I can finally check that today and see if it's been submitted yet.
Cool, man.
Yeah, it's
you might have to get on their ass, but
I really don't want to have to right now. But yeah,
the nice thing is that it's all by email. I never called anybody when I had to do it.
Sure. So I can just be like, hey, this hasn't been done. Pretty sure it's supposed to have been done.
Yeah, it's easier to be like a professional snippety in text than it is in voice without being like too far. At least I find that.
Yeah.
Way.
No, that's fair. You can choose your shots a little more carefully.
You can snipe a little bit better. I'm going to give you a good news story. Kind of a good news story. Apparently, a Loblaws in Ontario, they left it open on a Sunday. Like the employee forgot to lock up the night before or something. A bunch of people went in, grabbed a bunch of stuff, and then left a list of everything they grabbed. And like that saying that they would come back to pay, and they did.
Okay. There you go.
That's kind of, I thought that was kind of cute. Is this like, only in Canada would like a fucking grocery store at this
not get
time
like looted.
Not get completely looted. Apparently the police were called in after. They said everything was accounted for financially, so everything was fine.
Okay.
To the point where people on the internet
gets.
Called them class traitors, saying that they should have stolen everything because fuck the rich. To which I kind of agree, I guess, but I found it kind of nice that they didn't. Maybe that's just getting soft in my age, or like the fact that we might all be dead soon. It's nice to hear that.
Snivelly billionaires own Loblaws, or what is the...
Yeah, I remember Bob Loblaw.
Oh, Bob Loblaw. What a crony.
Yeah,
anyway.
Robert Loblaw. Wait, your name is Bob Loblaw? Sorry, just saying that is hard to say without like cracking a smile.
Mm-hmm.
Blah blah blah.
But no, that's good to hear. I definitely did a late night grocery run early on in all of this, and it was weirdly a lot of people there.
Yeah,
for 1 a.m.
I mean,
but
people still
everyone needed their craft dinner.
Yeah, people still need.
For all I knew, I was like bumping into people that are always there at that time.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
Like it's just trying to like stay not paranoid about what's going on, because it's just like
totally
no, this might just be business as usual. It's just I'm never here at this time.
Sure.
So
we've definitely been like just kind of stocking up when we need to on stuff that we'll be using within the week, but also like eating out regularly to keep companies that we like going.
Yeah, there's been like, I don't want my favorite soup restaurant to go under right now, so
Gagana?
like making a a pilgrimage there a couple times.
Is he still open?
Yeah, but takeout only, and sort of erratic hours. Like they might be closing a little earlier. Last Monday I tried and they didn't answer, but Tuesday it was fine. So,
he's always been closed Mondays, I thought.
Maybe maybe I screwed up there. I phoned before I drove anywhere. So it was just like, I can't place my order.
Honestly, one of the first people I thought about was Gagana, one of the first places.
Yeah.
But they're just so far out of the way for me.
They're pretty far out of the way. But I feel like a bit like gas is so stupid cheap right now, which I guess is bad, but it's fine. But it's bad.
It's
fine.
Bad. No, it's really bad.
It's
Albertan
great.
Specifically. It literally means that we've hit Depression era stuff right now.
Yeah,
so
I know. As like just a layman who wants his car to go, it's like, oh wow, this is like when I was a kid. Sure. Like I get to experience gas prices of my parents' age.
Sure.
But it's like this surely has negative ramifications for the local economy, but
it absolutely does, and don't call me Shirley. What have you been doing to protect yourself from the outside world? Have you been wearing a mask or gloves or any of that?
The mask thing, we have one anyway. It's a Pikachu mask, which I haven't had to sport in public yet because I haven't been going on runs this week. Sure. But the next grocery trip is my responsibility, so I guess I will have to do that. Like the alternative is a Tokyo Ghoul mask, which feels somehow more ominous.
That's no good. Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, I shouldn't wear that one. Too edgy. And also, I'm not familiar with the property, really. So, should I run into a fan, I wouldn't be able to articulate anything.
But it's fine.
Which
You're
is the
a
ultimate
guy.
Fear.
If you were a girl, that's the problem. Because girls have to be on their toes about stuff. They can't just show that they like something. They get tested on it.
I also just feel any mask wearing, I just feel like a criminal. Like, we went to the Bottle Depot 10 days ago, and there was just a guy wearing a mask outside, and it just looked scary, but it's like, no, he's just waiting on his friend. But he's poised in this truck with a mask on, like a bank robbery. Mm-hmm. But it's just, that's the new way for now. Anyway. But, just odd sights, I guess. Photos from the dystopia.
As you do, I've been watching a bunch of internet videos, one of which, Drew Scanlon and his cloth map series or whatever. I've been catching up a little bit on that.
Oh, sure, yeah, because I was he can't be traveling right now.
No.
As part of his normal duties. Yeah,
but I haven't watched since, I think he went to Brazil, and that was like the last one I watched or whatever, in one of the South American areas. He went to Bosnia, and they talked about the siege of Sarajevo and this war of mine and blah, 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 right? That sounds like a fucking nightmare, and it makes me think, would I prefer what we're doing now, or like the fact that at any point, like, my house could have been bombed? You know what I mean? Like, that's such a weird stress that they had to go through in the 90s in Sarajevo.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd take you have to stay inside your electrically lit, internet-equipped home over that fear, Like, it's not quite wartime at all.
Like,
it's just...
It has kind of like an ominous feeling of, like...
Yeah, it's the closest our generation has probably had over here.
It was just kind of one of those things that, like, in a way, it would kind of be nice to just know that, like, I might die from the hands of, like, some fucking terrible human and not some invisible killer that I don't know I have.
Sure.
I don't know. It's weird. It got me down this really dark path that I had to get myself out of pretty quickly. But it basically...
Also contributing to the insomnia.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I have trouble sleeping anyway, just in general. So, like, shit like this is really bad.
But I've been trying to, like, flip my schedule back around because it got too broken.
Yeah. There was a point where I was waking up at 7 o'clock at night. Like...
Yeah, that I've had that back in my, like, video store days, I think. Post inventories that would happen. And it's just like, this is insane. Like, what?
It's terrible.
Like, I gotta go out, but there's nothing now.
Yeah.
Well, not now. Then there was, but it was just like I have to walk around outside or something.
Yep.
Like there was no. But the light cues and everything, it was just
crazy.
Freaking me out.
Absolutely crazy.
But, yeah. But those were simpler times. Now
they were.
I sort of like that. There's like a big event in a way, like not the actual. Practical, but it's like, hey, wow, this actually like is a defining moment in some way that unifies everybody.
It is a world-changing event we're in.
Remember the virus year? And it's like, oh yeah, and that's just like a commonality everywhere, as opposed to like, oh, political allies of the U.S. remember 9/11 in a certain way. That was like the previous candidate for a big thing, but this is bigger.
So, this was also making me think. Is this blown out way more because of the internet? Like, back in the days of 92, the Siege of Sarajevo, that would have been everywhere on Twitter. We would have seen pictures of it every day. We would have seen, like, just crazy amount. It would have been in our life. Even though we weren't dealing with it, we would have seen literally everything that was happening in it, heard accounts of it and whatnot. If this was in the 90s, what's happening right now, and there were, like, outbreaks of shit back then, too, do you think we would have even heard of it at this point? Like, we would have heard of it by now, but, like, the only thing we would have had is newspapers and, like, the news at night to, like, tell us, like, there's a new strain of the flu. It wouldn't be, like, people talking about... like their personal experiences or losing their parents and not being able to like hug them at night and like these weird like
the volume of stories, like especially it just seemed to be like a slow motion thing in a way, because I was sitting at work a lot on news websites all the time, so I saw the story develop from like, oh wow, they closed movie theaters in China and stuff, like up to, hey, the travel ban and all this kind of stuff, and just being like, oh, okay. Like, it was just a more, like, populated timeline of events that I saw. Whereas, I think in the 90s, it would be like there'd be 5 or 6 bullet points of, like, remember when this happened? Like, it's more defined. Whereas everybody has, like, their own list of, like, there was a thread on Reddit that was like, hey, when did the virus kind of get real for you? And... like, a big one for me is kind of lame, but it was when the basketball stopped. That was a defining...
That was huge.
That was a big moment of my day. And it was just like, oh, okay, wow. That's like a big industry that just ground to a halt because of this. Yeah. Uh-oh. Like, it was just like that kind of moment. And then, like, there's just been other little ones, like a country singer my parents really liked in the 90s died because of it. And it was just like, oh no, Joe Diffie. He wrote that Gravy song.
Yeah.
Man. Like, just like little things on my timeline. But I'm sure everyone has like 5 or 6 moments that really affected their goings on. That, and then, me getting laid off. Like,
sure,
there's, specific ones. But,
I'm going to be completely transparent about how I felt about this. I heard about this last year, like most people did.
Yeah.
About this, like...
December. But
people were making fun of it, calling it like this weird zombie flu. That's obviously going to be the end of the world.
Yeah, sure. Continue. Yeah.
I'm going to just admit, when I heard that China was going under this crisis, I said, "Good, fuck that place. I hope they all burn." I fucking hate China. I was in the midst of this really big, like, fuck China thing. As I know you were.
Well, I guess just to, like, elaborate, there's kind of been a wave of, like, Canada friction with China in the last 12 months. Like, maybe 2 years, actually. Like, there was this issue where a CEO or CFO of a big telecommunication company got arrested here. Yeah. And China was really, really shitty about the extradition treaty and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that was friction that I was like, man, they're kind of tyrannical over there, huh? And then there's all these stories about camps set up to re-educate Muslims in the country there.
Yep.
And just how crazy that stuff sounded.
People
and just
fighting for the freedom of Hong Kong away from the tyranny of the rest of China.
The huge Hong Kong
going on, the little civil
situation,
wars.
yeah.
Like,
so a lot of negative.
Where I was just like, I kind of hope that place just burns itself down to the ground. Fuck that place.
Yeah.
I'm
in a way,
kind
like
of that way still. Frankly, I'm a little.
Or mad. Hoping for revolution that kicks out the Communist Party.
No, like I kind of want that place dead. I want it gone. I'm so fucking sick of bad shit and it coming from that part of the world. I'm so fucking sick of this shit. They're eating. And we got sick because of it, because these fucking pieces of shit couldn't just, like, find something else to eat. Just stick to your rice. Like, fuck. It pisses me off so much.
A lot of it's, like, arbitrary, like, enforcement of laws. Totally. Like, which, again, I try to really look at it as, like, the top of this chain is really bad. So if you just replace that,
well, the top,
will
like,
trickle.
half of it. Like, the farmers and stuff that were, like, sealed into their houses while their cities burned down, basically, from this virus. It's a little hard to blame them, but, like, I don't know. I don't know how you come back from how, like, fucked that place is.
Well, it's like a social climate thing over there. Yeah. And I would go to their news websites, too, to kind of read how they're characterizing everything, and it is really weird. Like, it's state-run media, so it's just kind of a couple paragraphs, this is the official way it is, and it's like, oh, okay, like, there's no debate, but and okay, so yes, like, the negative China, I understand that sentiment to some extent. It's been growing over the last while for sure, and then this is definitely an interesting climax point for but I guess a major, like, milestone was, like, there was a lot of talk of, like, okay, well, this isn't as bad as SARS, and then, like, the numbers of deaths exceeded SARS, and I was like, okay, this is pretty bad. Yeah. Like, because that got a lot of news, like, a decade ago, so if we're already eclipsing those numbers,
It's because just statistically more people have it. That's why.
Like, it transmits easier.
Way easier.
And its symptoms are, like, more innocuous seeming. Like, it was very obvious if you had SARS. So they knew what to do. Whereas you can kind of go undetected for a weird amount of time and, like, spread it everywhere. Yeah. But, I mean, all of this sad news about this weird killer virus is everywhere. So I guess I don't need to rehash that.
Totally.
But
like, I've been kind of trying to stay positive. Like, I've actually, on TDP, I've kind of pushed back a little bit, like, behind the scenes, and just been like, can we not, like, do this jokey, like,
virus talk.
This is what, like, is getting canceled, blah, blah, blah anymore? Like, I'm so sick of hearing it everywhere. I want TDP to kind of be more where people,
like, looking at the
video games.
Let's find those silver lining.
And, like, of
like,
course
I'll settle for a bronze lining right now.
Like, yeah, it's going to come up because things are getting canceled. Like, what was it? Last of Us 2 indefinitely canceled because they don't know when they are going to get copies out and blah, blah, blah. And that's news we have to talk about. But we don't have to kind of, like, make a joke of it or, like, talk about... This is where I kind of want, like, you and I to have this discussion. I think you and I have always been kind of more candid about that stuff anyways.
Okay.
In the past. So it's probably less of a weird thing. Especially, like, we're not doing a video game podcast. So talking about a virus... is, like, kind of weird.
Being angry about bat meat isn't a completely tangent thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, yeah, they should make a sequel to Deadly Creatures where you play as a bat, and then there you go. That's the tie-in to make it on topic.
Right, exactly. But we don't have to do any of that bullshit here. So I figured we would just have...
So sorry that I did that, but...
No, it's fine. Yeah. Deadly Creatures is A sickening game.
Just the skittering animations. I mean,
No, it's
somebody
going
had to focus on that.
going upside down and on the walls as a spider is.
Oh,
like,
just disorienting.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, just thinking
It's like
about
the same with the AVP games and everything.
Yeah.
Just like, oh,
Yeah.
I shouldn't be able to be up here. I mean, my media input has definitely skyrocketed because of this. Like, just tons of TV, dumb movies.
Totally.
Like Twister, man. That movie rips. I think that movie's good.
That movie's very.
I don't
old.
know.
Wow.
Yeah, but I don't know. I was watching it again and just be like, these special effects are perfect for this movie. Like, they just render what they're trying to do exactly.
Yeah.
Like, Jurassic Park gets all this, like, wow, man, totally holds up. Twister totally holds up from, like, a visual effects perspective. It's just, that looks like a tornado. So, they rocked it. And it's, like, wide shots and stuff, so even though it's CG, it doesn't really look insane.
Yeah.
It just looks real. So, I don't know. Thumbs up to Jan de Bont's 1996 weather thriller.
Great.
Twister.
Weather thriller.
Check it out.
I did have a specific question for you. I guess like it's no secret to anybody who might be listening to this right now. You kind of went radio silent on all like socials and internet in general for a long time.
Yeah.
Has this changed any of that stuff? Like, it sounds like you are more cognizant of like checking maybe Reddit, and I don't know if you check Twitter.
I spend too much time on Reddit by default. Like, it's just such an easy format to get a bunch of garbage. Like, the infinite scroll. So you just kind of, you can just keep drifting forever until eventually you start encountering, like, weird shit that you don't want to see, and then you just refresh.
Yeah.
Like, so it's kind of an addiction, but I've been... yeah, like, for a while there, I was definitely just, like, setting down my phone at the beginning of the day, because I was just, it's just all bad news. It was just all bad news on there.
Yeah.
So, and to some extent, it still is, like, mostly frustrating stuff about, like, our neighbors to the south.
The human condition.
Their
yeah.
situation is much more dire than ours.
Yeah.
So, that's never fun to see, but...
Holy.
Yeah, so there's that, but like less so Twitter. Like Facebook is just the people I know, and some of that stuff's a bummer. Like
that's somehow worse for me.
Oh, my dad is weirdly like politically active on Facebook. Okay, like just reading that and trying not to get into weird debates with him. Like it's just like just checking in and just okay, yeah. I don't want to bite on this. Like, let's just leave it. Like, because I'm pretty sure if you start commenting, that elevates it in people's feeds, and then more people see it, and you're just like, let's just not worry about it.
Without getting into the specifics, how's like your family doing with like layoffs and all that sort of stuff that might be going on?
Well, my mom is like a semi-retired nurse, so she could be really pulled into this, I guess. But she had a near-death experience in December last year. Like, she was really sick. Yeah. So she still was recovering from that whole situation. So she's kind of just laying low in her small town home. Yeah. The main thing I'm worrying about is, like, are you, like, horribly bored out there? Because there was, like, nobody that can visit you now and that kind of stuff. But I think she's just pouring all that energy into Bookworm, the game.
Sure.
She's setting new high scores and stuff. So
that game's dope.
And watching old videotapes. Like, I jokingly said, like, you should watch Lord of the Rings. And then next time I called her, she's like, yeah, I watched all of them. I watched all three of those.
Like, why wouldn't I?
Okay. I guess you got time.
Yeah.
Like, 9-10 hours of
there was time
whatever,
now.
So. Yeah. So, she's doing okay. Right when it was really, like, the travel ban was happening, my dad was on a trip to Quebec.
Oh, no.
So I was like, oh, no, like, is he going to be able to get back? And I think what they ended up doing was just like, hey, let's not get on a flight right now. Let's rent a van and, like, drive home.
Oh,
so they did, like, a cross-country drive to get back, which was...
That's kind of a bummer, but that's also hilarious.
Like, they just changed up their itinerary of just like, well, we still have some time left that we budgeted for visiting people. We probably shouldn't do that now.
It was like planes, trains, and automobile.
A little bit,
yeah.
But just planes and automobile. I don't think any trains were involved, but yeah.
Fair.
And then they made it back, and then now he's just ranting about Trudeau or something. So,
was he speaking moistly about him?
I don't think the moistly riffs were coming from his feed. there was some like chuckling about that happening elsewhere, but I didn't even see the clip really. So he misspoke, honestly, I guess.
Honestly, I just think that's kind of a cute little meme. Speaking moistly.
Sure. I was not incensed about it. It's just like, our prime minister looks like a doof, and it's like,
our prime minister's an idiot. Ah!
Yeah, I was not worried about that.
He said
everybody's tired. Yeah, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But to me personally, I'm sure there's 67 blog articles I could really look at if I wanted to, but like sure. That's the part of the internet discourse I'm really just
staying away
I don't know. I have a problem with Reddit comments. Like, I can't not look at them. It's mostly why I'm there. And then I'm just like angry at all of them, but unlike Facebook, you can just push a little down button to be like, I think you're stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's something about that is fine to me. Like, it's just like, that's a terrible take there. I'm not even going to talk to you, but just going to register this numerically. Yeah. How about that? So I'm a terrible Redditor in a way. But it's like just lurking in the shadows, snarking at everyone quietly. But oh well.
How do you?
And then occasionally going like
Discord.
Oh, I couldn't. That was the thing. I was like, when I was actively looking at a community, I was like trying to keep up with everything.
Yeah, that's a.
And I was like, oh man, I got to scroll back like 2 weeks to figure out what everybody's saying, and then it's just like, no, this is impossible. This is not what this is for. Yeah. So it's just, it's supposed to be active and roiling with conversation.
I mean, it's a chat room with like a history.
Yeah.
Function basically,
but the more people that get in there, the more impossible it is to like
totally
keep up with everything. So I was using it wrong, I guess.
No, but I think you're using it right. I've stopped using it as much because Discord, like in every community, there's so many phony fucks on it too. Like even in ours, there's just like people, when I see them, I'm like, why are you even here? I know you don't like me. Like, why the fuck do you even pretend? Like, fucking do us both a favor and leave.
My wife was getting into weird, like, well, there's a very niche within a niche, like, anime brand she likes called Clamp. It's a group of authors that worked together and made a bunch of series in, like, the 90s and 2000s.
Okay.
And there's Discord for it, but then just, weird Discord community drama with like, oh, this guy sucks, he's posting again, and like all this weird stuff. It's like, what's happening?
Yeah,
like just weird infighting and stuff that I was like, wow, I don't remember encountering this, but I guess this makes sense that this would happen.
Anytime you get groups of people together, it can happen. So
eventually, it's gonna tip over like that. So I haven't been as engaged with that stuff. I've just been staring at the internet a bunch, not really participating in the way I used to. Because it just... I think part of the Reddit effect was just like, most of my thoughts would be represented already, and that really bummed me out. I'd just be like, oh, this guy basically said exactly what I was going to say. So
like, my voice isn't needed here, because it's been...
Yeah. I might upvote him or something, but I don't really have anything to add, so it just felt like weirdly redundant all over the place. And then I got super self-conscious that like that's all I'm doing anywhere. It was just like
regurgitating.
Like it started happening during my janitor days too, when I would be listening to like 4 different game podcasts.
Yeah.
And just be like, oh man, like all 4 of them talked about the same news story this week. Yeah. Like we're all just parrots or something. Like I got really weirded out.
It's actually why I don't listen to any video game podcast at all.
Yeah, I've kind of pivoted to other stuff because I used to really dig like the Bombcast stuff, but now it just kind of echoes wrong or something. I can't do it anymore. So
them specifically, they've changed so many times since like
staff changeovers and
I mean literally
mixing.
that like that's part of it too, but just the way it feels, you know? Like
Yeah.
it was a different feel back in GameSpot than when they became Giant Bomb or arrow pointing up or whatever. Like
down. But
down,
it became
that
like
transition.
like, oh, they're
period.
rebels. They're breaking away from the big
they
media.
were
This
they
is
were just
awesome.
friends. They would
Yeah.
talk about like drinking an energy drink and what it tasted like, and like shitty hot dogs and video games and whatever. It was a friend podcast.
Yeah.
Then it like grew, and now it's back to this weird soulless thing. Like more soulless though, weirdly. And it's
And
been
they're
like
not
that for
even-
a while.
Yeah, I don't know. I hate ragging on it because I loved it for such a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just not hitting the same centers anymore. So,
Sure.
and thing is, I really enjoy having like a podcast to fill. Like, okay,
Totally.
I've been playing a lot of NBA 2K20, and that game needs a podcast.
It's a podcast game. Sure.
Because it's just basketball over and over again, but that's okay if you have something other than the same quips from the commentators hundreds of times. Like, it's just like, oh, I can't listen to this anymore. I need to put something else on. And then you can really focus on basketballing and start putting up insane numbers that are just stupid.
Sure.
But I don't know. Like, it's like, should I raise the difficulty more? And it's like, well, no, then it won't be fun.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna demolish for a while.
Mine's
and
Call
it'll
of
be kinda
Duty.
cool.
That's my podcast game.
Okay,
I just-
we're just
Do
do it over. Like, okay, the new one that's like the battle royale thing, or just classic multiplayer.
Both. The
Okay.
Battle Royale's free, but I bought the game when it came out last year.
Okay, yeah, I have not really kept up with that franchise since Black Ops 1.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
No, you played Ghost.
So I did on the Wii U.
Yep.
I played through the campaign of Ghosts. That's true.
And
I actually went back to Black Ops to eventually play it because I just heard good things about it, and it was weirdly expensive forever. So
yeah.
I just waited on a like PS3 used copy at some point. Sure,
My copy
$15
of Black Ops
there it
is
is.
signed by the main character's voice actor for whatever reason.
Sam Worthington?
He was at a convention. And I was just like, "Will you sign this?" He's like, "Yeah, sure."
Amazing. Sam Worthington. Wow.
I think it
Star
was
of Terminator Salvation.
really. Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't seen that yet. Still, I probably won't ever.
Well, don't worry about it. Yeah.
yeah.
That new Terminator is kind of okay.
Dark Fate.
Qualified.
Is that
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen that either.
Like, don't get excited about it.
Okay.
But I was like, and you know, now it might be enhanced further, but that's like one of the last like 3 movies I got to watch in a movie theater before the thing happened.
Uh-huh.
So it's just like, oh man, yeah, Dark Fate. Me and my friend were there, and I had a root beer, and it was okay. You know, like just
Ooh,
fun times.
What kind of root beer? This is important.
Actually, I lied. I think what I got
Wow.
was a coffee and donuts,
Wow.
which I thought was a great combo. It went together really well.
I mean, that's basically root beer, so sure.
I drank a root beer last night, so that's why I'm just, it's on the mind.
Which root beer?
But,
What type?
Dad's root beer.
Okay, Dad's is
Like
acceptable.
glass bottles. Yeah. Like, root beer aisles before the crisis had been weirdly sparsely populated with options. Like, it's like, oh man, they only have mug.
Mug's okay.
Like that. Mug's not bad, but
better
it's
than
like my
Barks.
third choice. I would probably choose Barks over it.
Oh no, Barks is garbage. Are you kidding me? What world are you You know what? Maybe the virus.
I'm
does
living in one
deserve
where
to take us.
that was the option in my vending machine at work, so I got used to it, I guess. I don't
Nice.
know. Like occasionally that would be my root beer fix.
Honestly, I think Dad's is top tier. That's a good root beer.
Dad's is really good, yeah.
Um,
So I was not sad about that.
I'm gonna fuck with you for a moment. A&W
Yeah.
might be one of the best.
Oh
Straight
yeah.
up.
It's really solid, yeah. I'm trying to think of like there's been some weird like Save On Foods has kind of this like pick your own soda pack, and they had like a vanilla cream kind of root beer thing that was pretty good. But I can't call out the specific Winehards. Maybe was that them? Anyway,
I don't know.
Like
that sounds okay.
Yeah, the actual sub brands are hard to differentiate.
Where do you sit with like a Dr. Pepper? Do you like a Dr. Pepper?
I like Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper can be pretty good. I think you got to go diet though. Diet Dr. Pepper is top tier.
Really, it enhances the flavor somehow.
No,
or just less guilty.
I just hate
it?
Sugar.
Oh sure, I do not. So. I bought sugar cubes. That was one of my panicked, like, oh no, you can't get sugar cubes. And then I found them. I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I need this.
Sure.
It's just the funnest way to have sugar.
You just plop it in.
Yeah. It's like, I'll take 2 of these. And then you soak them a bit and go, wow, cubes. And then drop them in there.
Yeah.
And
no,
yeah, it's all right.
I can get down with the gimmick over the... Like, I don't like sugar, but if I'm going to have it, a gimmick would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think it's just like echoing back to being stoked whenever that would be at church, like whenever someone brought sugar cubes for the coffee table.
Sure,
you'd be like, oh, cool.
That is
it's
definitely
like candy.
A church community center thing for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you're a little kid and you just pop one in your mouth.
Oh, dude. Like, yep. I always hated it, but I've never been
candy, dude.
I've never been a sugar fan.
Yeah. Melts down. That's great.
Sweet. I don't like sweet. I like savory. Salt.
Okay.
That's the thing that's going to give me a heart attack.
It's salt. Yeah. No, salt's the thing that,
Yeah.
I wasn't watching out for salt at all. And then eventually my kidneys were like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, eating ramen 4 times a week? What? And it was like, no, stop it. You can't
really
do that.
I guess, like, we didn't talk... I mean, we haven't talked since, really. But you came over and we like chatted just for a little bit, like for a small visit. And you were like, I was just at the hospital. And I didn't know you had kidney problems. It's just like,
yeah,
what?
I got IgA nephropathy, which is a pretty general, like it's a pretty common kidney disease, I guess you'd say. So I've been part of a university study to deal with that. And it's also been sort of disrupted by this, because normally I'd be getting lab tests and whatnot.
Yeah.
But those labs are up
now,
to more
probably.
important stuff right now.
Totally.
So,
yep.
Like, the last tests I submitted were like, these numbers are a little weird. We should probably do this again. And I haven't really heard anything, because it was just before, again, the widespread pandemic.
Does that
stuff,
scare you
so.
At all? At least that has nothing to do with COVID. Like, that's not a...
I really hope it doesn't invalidate all the time that's been put into the study already. Like, it's just like, yeah, we're just going to have to put a little asterisk next to this one and be like, couldn't retest COVID, and hopefully that's fine.
So, what does it mean that you're part of a study? They, like, take blood periodically, or what?
Yeah, blood, urine. If you want some urine stories. The worst part of all this has been 24-hour sample collecting.
Oh, no. Is that like a catheter?
No,
okay.
But it's like a jug that you refrigerate and have to bring in the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah. The worst thing that has happened, like 3 times, is the lab going, no, you did it wrong, and like not again. Accepting it. And you're just like, dude, I fucking sacrificed a day of my weekend to stay home and piss in this jug. You better test it, dude. Like, what are you talking about? It's just like, yeah, technically you wrote down like 24 hours and 55 minutes. That's not right. It's like, I was asleep. I couldn't put in... What? Like, fine. Forget that you ever saw me and give me a pen and I'll fix this for you. And it's like, no. Gotta dispose of it. It's like, okay.
Oh my God.
It's the worst. It was the worst. So I stopped going to that specific lab. Shout out to Marlboro Mall.
Oh, dude, that's your first problem. The only good thing you can get at Marlboro are drugs and maybe an underage prostitute, if that's your deal.
So Reddit Calgary really rags on Marlboro a lot. So I was trying to like, no, man, Marlboro's okay.
Nope, place sucks.
Whatever. Yo, I got a Last Action Hero videotape there when I was a kid, and I thought it was sick. So
I'll tell you how much
Marlboro
it sucks.
for life.
I went there
Okay.
during like around Christmas time at 3 a.m. To get a copy of Mortal Kombat. It's a long story, like on DVD.
At the Walmart?
At the Walmart, yeah. And
Okay.
they were totally open, and I was like, there is no problem. You know why? Because there's fucking crackheads all the time, and they need to stay open so they can pay security to walk around. That place was...
But did you get your copy of Mortal Kombat?
I absolutely did.
So, Marlboro kind of rules, is what I'm hearing.
It was the only place at 3 a.m. I could get a copy of Mortal Kombat, so I guess there's
exactly, dude.
I had a
and I think they were the supplier of
too.
my MGS3 pre-order situation that magical weekend. So I don't know. My positive Marlboro memories outweigh like that weird time that kid we were hanging out with was caught shoplifting at the Walmart, and we just had to sit by the fountain for like an hour.
What about that time during the Christmas rush where somebody was shot as they were coming out of the Walmart?
I mean, that sucks for that guy. I don't doubt he hates Marlboro.
Yeah.
But I haven't had that happen. Yo, the old spaghetti factory is like right there.
Yeah, old spaghetti factory is overpriced garbage.
No, dude, it's all included. You get that ice cream.
Yeah, but it's spaghetti. Spaghetti's the worst of the pastas. Pasta.
There's other options. You could get some chicken parmigiana.
It's true, you can.
You know, big wafer of bready chicken.
All right,
it's okay.
Me. Let's go.
We can't.
Oh, right.
It's not allowed.
Oh, right, COVID. I forgot.
Right. I know. But, yeah, there's just a dumb list of stuff that I'm just gonna, like, man, I just want to, like, I haven't eaten at a Joey's Seafood in, like, a decade.
Dude, right?
But I saw one, and I was like, man, I can't even go there.
Oh,
like, yeah. I wouldn't normally, but I would love to be able to walk in there right now and just sit down.
There's actually one kind of near your place on 50.
Yeah, I know.
There's like a Safeway there. Oh, okay, that's the one you're talking about. Okay.
Well, wait, we were up at the Fat Burger picking up some burgers, and it was in the 32nd.
Oh no, that's
London Drugs.
That's London Town Square.
Yeah. I was looking at that one.
Oh yeah,
forlornly.
There is one there by the Starbucks. That's true.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe not after this. Who knows?
Yeah, I've just been like, oh man, my biggest like stress moment. Not my biggest stress moment, but one of them.
Okay, let's go.
I had to qualify that immediately, but one that just kind of crept up in my brain was just there's this amazing fun center that has arcade games in Abbotsford. And I was just like, oh man,
there's no way that's
no, but dude, I hope they're well managed enough because they're like a fixture there, and always doing okay. So I just hope they short up a nest egg and they're going to be okay. Like I checked their website, and they were just like in March or something. They're like, yeah, we have to close temporarily. So I was like, oh, I hope that's true, man, because I want to go there. Like that was like a periodic pilgrimage just to be like, is this place still doing okay? Wow, they actually have like new machines and this is a well-maintained batting cage and all this kind of stuff. Like just loving that this gem from my childhood was like not dead and gone, like all the video stores I love, you know?
Yeah.
Or like the arcade down at the West End or whatever, like all that stuff's gone. But this was still there, and I was like, oh, thank goodness. And then, yeah, some train of thought led to like, well, that's on the list of things to do when this is over. Oh, wait, I hope they survive. And then just, like, freaked out and was trying to go through their social media and stuff and be like, are they okay? Like, is everything okay? But
are they okay?
I don't know. They haven't posted since, like, Christmas 19.
They're dead. They're gone.
Like, no, their Twitter seems, like, really periodic like that. Like, it would just be major events. So, I guess, sure, they could have posted, like, a, hey, hope you're all having a good Easter or something. They didn't. So, like, whoa. But don't scare me like that, man. Like, they had a Terminator 2 cabinet. Like, the shoot 'em game.
Yeah.
That stuff's great.
They're gone. There's
Simpsons bowling, dude.
There is no way they're surviving this.
I own that Simpsons bowling leaderboard, man. Like, 300s, MBR all the way down. Play that for hours.
Awesome.
So, and mini golf, like the best mini golf I've ever experienced. The outdoor course there. Don't fall for the jungle one. That one sounds cool, but it's not.
I won't.
If you ever get to go see this place, if it's still there, The outdoor golf, that's the one. Adventure golf, I think they call it.
Adventure golf.
So,
got it.
12 thumbs up for Castle Fun Park. I don't know if I said the name.
12 thumbs up.
Castle Fun Park. Check it out. Abbotsford. Not right now, but... Oh, dude, it's like walking distance from a Taco Del Mar, too. It's like my own little slice of heaven right there. If you get to choose... If there's an afterlife and you get to choose what it is, maybe. Or that's where my ghost lives.
Taco Del Mar? Ugh.
Not specifically the restaurant, but that whole block there, yeah. Dude, that's like the goopiest burrito you can get.
Burritos
that's
are
what
bad.
You want.
Tacos.
What?
Burritos are bad.
They're bigger tacos.
They're
it's
bad.
Like a super taco.
No, they're bad.
Like mucho burrito, I'm kind of with you because I got sick one time.
Mucho burrito's real bad. That's really bad.
I can't eat there anymore. Like it was near our work, so occasionally I'd go there. But one time
I ordered from that one a few times because they delivered to work.
Yeah,
yeah. But
it took one bad experience to be like, I can't trust you guys, man. I don't know if you just left this pork out too long or what.
Yeah, but no, they're bad.
But Taco Del Mar, check it out. When in Seattle, if you ever get to go to Seattle again.
Yeah.
If there's ever a PAX again, there was one there.
There'll be like 5 on the way to PAX and 1 at PAX, so.
And that one at PAX is going to have a big line, but, you know, they're well managed there. At least they were. Remember PAX?
Man.
I don't think I ever went. Maybe once I went to that pizza place.
I had that pizza place
but
once. It was fine. It wasn't worth the lineup that was around the... Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Something like that. Man,
anyway.
Weird. I think that'll probably do it for now. I'm going to end this the way
we got to talk about the Supersonics. We just had a natural transition from Seattle to, you know, they got to bring back their basketball team.
It's never going to happen.
Oh.
But I do have questions. Remember the question segment?
Oh, wow, you got questions?
I got questions, specifically for you. So I said,
wow.
This has nothing to do with TDP. If you have questions about or for Nathan, since you last heard from him, tag me with them. So I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
Meowth
I'll do my best.
Wants to know, does he still play video games? Do you still play video games?
Yeah. I do still play video games.
Man. Some things never change,
yeah.
Huh?
I try to not play online very much. So there's that. Like, if given the option, I'm always playing single player stuff.
Yeah.
But so sorry, like I didn't get on the Siege train. Like I essentially exhausted the single player stuff, and then was like, oh, this is like a multiplayer game. Like,
in Siege.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I like those old, you know, Rainbow Six situations, but that's, you know, Sum of All Fears on the GameCube, which is actually terrible.
Why not just play SWAT 4?
I own SWAT 4. I could play that.
Yeah.
It's an option.
You should play that.
But right now I'm playing Animal Crossing New Horizons, NBA 2K20, and Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, Remake's great.
I guess we'll save that for top-down perspective, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's the video game show.
It is the video game show.
So yes, I do. I do still play video games.
I am 3D Homer says
sports
the last
games.
great movie you've seen, the most recent terrible movie, and the most absolutely mediocre movie, both recently and ever.
Oh man. Okay. It took me a second, but I think the most mediocre movie I've seen is The Trigger Effect, starring Kyle MacLachlan.
Okay.
And Elizabeth Shue is in it, and Dermot Mulroney. It is David Coep directed this in like '96.
I'm gonna be real with you. That lineup you just said is the most mediocre sounding lineup I've ever heard.
I mean, I'm always there for McLaughlin because of the Twin Peaks lineage, but yeah,
that's really it though. Like,
yeah, that's his high watermark.
Yeah.
But I mean, Blue Velvet, Dune, basically David Lynch.
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
But okay, I don't know. It's sort of a topically perfect movie because it's about society crumbling because the power went out. So I was like, oh man, if there was ever a time to watch this movie, it's right now when it's relevant again.
Sure.
Because it's LA, there's like a big, weird electrical glitch, the entire state goes dead, and people start turning on each other.
Sure.
But it really, like, constricts the view of, like, the mass panic stuff down to, like, a suburban block, maybe, and, like, 3 people. So it just didn't have the giant canvas I wanted to look at that subject, but it was right in the okay zone. Like, this should have been better. So mediocre. Great. Oh man.
Last great movie.
I'm trying.
Sonic.
Like, okay,
obviously.
I was talking up. What? Twister? Oh, Sonic.
Twister.
I wish I liked Invisible Man more and could put it there. I thought it was okay, but it didn't transcend or anything.
Yeah.
Onward was pretty good. We watched that.
That
but
movie
I,
looks
again,
fucking
put it,
stupid. People keep,
I agree. Like,
people keep saying it's actually really good, but man, it looks bottom tier.
Well, in the advertising run-up for it, I was like, oh no, like, Pixar made a DreamWorks movie. Like,
Yeah.
this just looks crappy, like, character design and stuff. But it manages to find a nice story about two brothers. Like, it has something to it. I thought the rollout with it was weird, because my friend saw it in theaters shortly before they all closed, and was really talking up the Simpsons short before it.
Okay.
And that just happened on Disney Plus, like, this week. So when we rented it, or bought it maybe, on, like, Google Plus or whatever, like, Onward a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Well, because I was like, like, we were gonna see this, but we can't now, so we'll, it's $12.50 each person. This is about a movie ticket, whatever. This is our evening. I was kind of expecting the Simpsons thing to be part of it, and it wasn't.
Oh, man.
So it was just like, oh, that sucks. You didn't get that appetizer before the meal kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a bummer. So, I don't know. Absolute terrible movie. I mean, I've been watching trash on purpose. So I'm trying to think of which... Well, I'm trying to think which one is, like, actually, like, oh, this failed to do what I wanted or something. Like, I don't want to dunk on an easy thing, but there was a moment in Child's Play 3 where I was like, this is great. This is actually really good.
What?
And then it doesn't keep that going. And I kind of read into why. It's like the writer was kind of pressured to write 2 and 3 back to back in, like, really short order. So he kind of just ran out of ideas. Like, he exerted all of his creative energy on 2, and then it's like, give us another one. It's like, Military Academy? I don't know. Like, it just kind of whiffs halfway through that movie. It just kind of loses something. Do you care about those?
Nope.
The Child's Play movies? Okay.
The first one has kind of a special place in my heart because I was a kid when I saw it.
Okay.
Like, no.
I like that first one for just exploring its premise, like, pretty thoroughly. And they can't do that in the sequels because it's, like, established. Mm-hmm. So 2 goes to the toy factory and has a neat set piece there. That's what I thought 3 was. And then 3 is, like, a year later in production schedule, but the character is, like, 6 years older, so he's a teenager now. It's a different actor. Like, it's just this weird jump. And yeah, he's at Military Academy, which I wasn't expecting. It was like, okay, that's different. But then it just kind of doesn't have new things for Chucky. He has a gun, so that's crazy. A doll with a gun was kind of funny.
I guess so.
But yeah. So I'm going to say that in lieu of, like, just on the spot. That was one where I was kind of like, oh man, this really wasn't that great. And truly amazing movie. Wow. Do you have an answer to give me some time to ponder?
Nope.
Great.
I watched it.
Okay.
We watched Birds of Prey the other night. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay.
There's, like, nothing to talk about with it for me, so it's whatever. Oh, I guess the only thing to talk about is the fact that Margot Robbie is just, like, Harley Quinn now. Like, the way Ryan Reynolds is just Deadpool. They're probably... Mm-hmm. And Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. Like, they're just gonna have a real hard time ever replacing her if she doesn't want to do it anymore. So...
Okay.
That's kind of
like,
funny.
it's not as, like, shifting to everybody as Joker is, because now, like, 5-6 different people have played him.
I don't feel like Joker was ever just one person ever since they, like, didn't get Jack Nicholson back. They switched him around a lot, as it was.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, just Cesar Romero
Jack Romero was the one man.
Yeah. And then it was that way for a long time, and then Heath Ledger came along. And then in recent years, yeah, just the Jared Leto Joaquin Phoenix double shot. It was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't care about this character now.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I guess we shouldn't rag on that movie. We'll get people mad.
Joker sucks.
But,
and anybody that likes it is actually mentally handicapped.
I wouldn't go to bat for it. Like, it's, yeah. It's just like, really? That's your, like, is this a dumb thing? Like, I feel like that's, like, this generation's Fight Club. Like, people are gonna like it too much for too long.
Yeah, probably. Fight Club was good, though.
Like,
it just was overblown.
Like, I think it turned a corner, though, into, like, wait. Why do you like this movie? Like, there's, like,
yeah. I see what you mean.
Do you like this movie because it's a satire, or do you like this movie because you want to do that?
Right.
Like, what are you responding to? Like, it kind of got murky in a weird way, where it's like,
you're right.
Oh, I can't, like, fight for this movie. I just got to put an asterisk next to that one, too, of just being like, also starring Jared Leto, so the common factor. Like,
yeah.
Oh, wait, no. He was the Suicide Squad Joker. So.
He was, yep.
Never mind. But also starring a Joker, I guess.
Also starring a Joker.
Yeah,
isn't there
6 degrees from Joker.
There's a new Joker, right? Isn't Johnny Depp Joker now or something?
What? I don't know. I haven't checked my Joker news.
Do you actually not know this?
I do not know.
Okay. Like, I don't know either, which is why I was asking you, but there's like I kept seeing some headlines that are like Johnny Depp is the new Joker or whatever, and it's like him in an all-white suit.
I mean, if Warner just made like $1.1 billion, like they're not just going to be like, all right, Joker has spoken artistically, we're done. It's like, no, we want money. So, but hey, everything's stopped right now anyway, production-wise.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've seen something like truly transcendently beautiful movie-wise in the last couple months.
Johnny Depp becomes the Joker for Robert Pattinson's The Batman in fan art.
Oh.
Okay.
In fan art. Okay, never mind. I was about to go like, oh, right, that Matt Reeves project, but okay.
Okay, good. We've worked it out. There's one more question for you from Foxy the Kid.
Okay.
What movies and games are you looking forward to?
What's still coming out? I mean...
Like nothing, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, what was on the... Like, NBA 2K21, you know, they can fix some stuff. I'm joking.
You're joking because they don't have to fix anything? It's perfect?
No, they do, but it's not, you know, it's an annual franchise. It's not a thing to get too excited about. Plus, is there going to be basketball ever again? You know, don't worry about it.
What would you do if, like, wouldn't it be weird if we're explaining to our kids what this old basketball sport used to be?
Or it's like, oh yeah, sports, spectator sports. You used to be able to go to an arena with 20,000 people and watch like 10 guys compete for points, and they would win, and you'd get real excited. And yeah, it was a weird time. Like I don't know. Maybe it would just become like a TV thing only.
And they're just like,
esports has seen a big surge, right? Because it's safer.
Yeah.
So okay,
sports
sorry.
Are better anyway.
What was the most recent question?
Movies and games you're looking forward
that I'm looking forward to. Oh man,
Sonic might have a real chance of being the best movie of the year because nothing else is
just because it got to come out.
Yeah,
like yeah. Well, like best picture pool is really narrow this year, but Invisible Man, Sonic the Hedgehog, Jim Carrey. We're just upgrading him to best actor. We're gonna have to just. What are we doing?
Yeah,
you know who else is gonna compete? So. Oh, like what even? Netflix originals or something.
Have you watched Tiger King?
We're in the 5 episodes have been watched of Tiger King.
So next time you and I chat, maybe we can talk about that specifically.
I guess I
would love to talk.
Do you have strong feelings?
Dude, that thing is so good.
I was worried that it would just be like reality show trash that I wouldn't be able to enjoy.
Dude, it is.
Well, but I was like worried it'd be like Jersey Shore or something.
Oh no.
Where I'm like, like my cringe reaction turns off the TV. Like I can't watch it. This is like, no, this is so weird and layered and insane in its own fun way to see unfold.
Yeah.
And just America and all of its differences.
It's Florida, man.
Like it's just Florida and Oklahoma, to be fair, but
no,
yeah,
it's Florida.
There's a strong Florida spirit in there. Okay, like it's not okay. Flashing back to the previous question, like, I think the best like video content. I've really been enjoying BoJack Horseman.
Ugh.
Like I was, and then I wasn't, and then I was.
Uh-huh.
Have you turned off on that show? Or
I've never liked that show because I fucking hate Will Arnett.
Oh yeah, okay. I found like my initial experience with it was extremely negative.
Sure.
And then eventually I was just like, you know what? I'm starting to actually care.
Oh, okay.
And then there was an episode in season 3 where I just stopped cold for like a year and a half.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't bad, but I just kind of wandered away.
Okay.
And then something like just its bittersweet, melancholy, but silly, absurdist comedy like combo is just really hitting perfectly right now.
Okay.
Something about it is just like, oh yeah, this is right. So I don't know. That I guess season 5, maybe I'll be like, that's a good movie. It's not a movie, but that's like the most like, yes, this is really good.
Okay.
They really put something together here. So, flashing back to that question, I don't know what like looking forward to. I guess I was kind of looking forward to this Final Fantasy thing,
and now
it
you're
just
not?
came out.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's just out. It's here. It happened already.
Yeah.
It snuck up on me too. Like I wasn't really like, really? It's coming out? Like it's out? That's crazy. I thought this was a legend. You know, like it's kind of neat.
It is neat.
But again, we'll save that for other video game shows.
A better venue for it, maybe. Yeah.
Like what's on the release calendar? Do you have a sense of what's down the pike?
Oh yeah, it's
like,
nothing. Like actually nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Like Metroid Prime 4 is in theory in development.
Sure.
But
no
I found
about
3 kind of a bummer.
All of those games are
I don't
bad.
know if I really...
They're all bad.
That's not true.
They are
because
bad.
the original was great.
Nope.
No, the first Metroid Prime is fantastic. So.
Terrible. All of them.
No, it's a great video game. Yeah, no, the first one.
First one's bad too. All of them terrible.
Well, I don't know how to like just... I'm going to compare it to something and totally...
Just arbitrary.
Halo or something.
Take that Halo?
Just... Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh man,
not
so
my
much
Halo.
richer. Yeah, Paul noted Halo fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I can't. Yeah, it's nothing like Resident Evil, so I can't be like, oh, it's way better than that. It's not. That's not true.
It's completely different.
Oh, whatever. We'll say. Okay.
No, do it.
No, Resident Evil 3. I was just gonna ask you about.
Man,
it,
it's so short. We won't talk about it on TDP. I didn't play it this week,
okay.
So there's no reason to bring it up.
It's too short?
It's very short. It is extraordinary.
Was the original short?
The original
and it just didn't matter?
The original is very short. This is 2 full areas shorter.
Oh, weird. Like it's actually edited down?
There's no clock tower part, and there's no park.
Oh, weird. Okay, I assumed it was just... No, that original game was short, and everyone just forgot.
Oh, that too.
I didn't know they actually trimmed down stuff. That's weird. Why would they do that?
Because this definitely feels like an afterthought that they like reused assets to do for extra money and notoriety more than it is like they obviously planned for Resident Evil 2 remake. This was obviously like hey, we could probably get this done in a year, and they did. That's what it is.
Oh no. Okay. That sucks because I saw the reviews came in a little low, but I was like, oh, but Paul will be fine because he'll just play it over and over again.
Yeah, no, I still like it.
Costumes and stuff.
But
it is shortchanging everybody a bit.
I mean,
that sucks.
I find it fine, but I don't recommend it to anybody.
Okay, it's one of those like if you need it and you have it already.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
Oh, isn't there a Breath of the Wild follow-up in the works?
Oh yeah, that game's bad.
Well, maybe they'll make the Master Sword invulnerable, and it'll be good.
That would actually like change my mind about a lot of shit.
Like just like, hey, we fixed it, and then bring a whole new world for you to explore.
I'm not even kidding. It would change a lot for me.
Like put Skull Kid in it or something, and boom.
Hey, I like that.
Majora's Mask 2.
I like that guy.
Yeah.
Even though
make it scary.
Even though he's a piece of garbage. I still like him for whatever reason.
And movie-wise, wow, who's even directing stuff right now? Like, was there a Coen's project in the works, or...
No.
Oh, hey, Wes Anderson actually has that movie about a newspaper, and I think it's shot already, so that could actually come out. Yeah.
Okay.
I forget the name of the newspaper, but that's the name of the movie. And, you know, it's his cast of people he likes to work with, plus a couple more, including Timothée, which lame, but whatever. You know, that'll probably be charming in its own Wes Anderson-y way. So there, I'll say that. That's my placeholder answer.
Wow.
I hope that is fun. Robert Yeoman, man, he can shoot some symmetry. So,
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that's my answer for now.
Cool.
On the spot, slowly over the course of 12 minutes or whatever that answer was. Sorry, just I don't got that snappy internet speed anymore.
How does it feel?
Calcifying.
How does it feel doing episode again?
Bewildering, but it's okay.
It's kind of weird, right?
I hope those answers were satisfactory.
Yeah. All right. Any closing thoughts before I stop my recording here?
Hey, the entire Leprechaun series is on Prime, so enjoy that, dumpster.
All right.
He goes to space. How can that not be good? That was the question I asked about Jason X, and I found out. But maybe they'll get it right. Maybe between Critters going to space, Leprechaun going to space, Hellraiser going to space, one of them has to be transcendently good, right?
Jason X was
one of those
good.
Has to be the perfect movie. There's the one part where he's in like the VR thing, and there's the sleeping bag bit.
That and the ice. Smashing
ice?
Doesn't he like smash a frozen bitch's face?
Oh, I bet he does. Yeah, that sounds like something Jason totally did. So, it's not part of the pack I just bought. I bought the Friday the 13th collection, but it's just the Paramount films.
Oh.
So I don't get Jason X or the terrible Jason Goes to Hell, which I'm okay with.
Yeah, Jason Goes to Hell is transcendently bad.
Oh, I guess final thought too. There's a bit in Nightmare on Elm Street 4 that I just genuinely found really gross. So good job, guys. Good job, Rennie Harlan. It's like a pizza.
Oh no,
with like people's souls.
Yep. That's a terrible part.
I was just like, oh god, this is actually disgusting. Good job, you guys. Like I was thinking about it days later.
It's both like it was terrifying, terrible, and also just like this weird body horror in like the worst possible way.
Like, so, like vomit, but then thumbs up. Like, just like, you guys perfectly
nailed it.
Executed on a gross out gag. So
totally. Yep.
Days later.
Totally.
Just can't get over it. So Rennie Harlan, everybody.
All right.
Underrated?
Nope. That was episode 153.
Hooray.
Yay, we did it.
Thanks for listening.
See you next time.